On the air, episode 137.
Tommy, I want you to do that. I want you to direct the band. Go ahead and play a little bit. I want to see if Tommy can just like.
Yeah.
Go, do it. Come on. Yeah, maybe not.
Funny.
I don't think they saw you. That's right. By the way, my mother texted me last Saturday during the show and said, "That's the best Tommy's ever sounded in the studio." Was it?
Yeah.
Everybody stand up. What song was it? Was it Stuck in the Middle?
Yes.
Steelers Wheel?
Yes.
I think the best song was what's it called? Three Dog Night.
But speaking of music and song, we have.
We're not done talking about this.
We have Dave Scott coming in, and he has a song to perform, and I can't wait.
Can we get back around to you? Who wants to hear Tommy perform today?
Sure.
Do you see how I Huck Finned his butt? Because I used to sing here. Now Tommy's doing all the work. I show up last minute. I'm like, who's here? Okay, good. I think you should do a song today, and maybe try some classic rock.
Yeah, I'll do classic rock. But the best thing is I get to play with the Sully Band, and the Sully Band, in my opinion, is one of the best bands here locally and across the country. And
I spy with my little eye. Yeah. So normally Nacho Sobers from the island of Lemon Grove is our conga player. He's actually in Panama. That's where he comes from. And Nacho is the whole show if you've ever been to one of our shows.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. Who's that cat up there, man?
That is Jose Escobar on congas today.
Now, here's what's important. Not only has he agreed to play with us, and he's filling in a spot, but he has a very famous spouse.
Yes.
Talk to us. Is she a guest today?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you want to bring in the guest, let's do it now. Ladies and gentlemen, from Fox 5 San Diego and KUSI, give it up for the conga player's wife, Elizabeth Alvarez.
Look at you.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're back. Will you go throw something on stage for the conga player?
Oh my goodness, who let this man in? There he is. No, I love you.
Have you seen him without sunglasses like a t-shirt? He is no, I'm not kidding. He's a stud.
He doesn't age and he doesn't gain weight.
Yeah. I hate him.
Whatever.
He's 6'20". He's a good-looking cat. What's up, man?
Hey.
Are you gonna play all day with us?
Just kidding. Just stretching.
I think we'd have like dueling conga players at every live event from now on.
I think so too. But you know what's so cool when we introduced you? I was looking at the audience, and that young woman right there got all excited that you're here.
We're friends. That's why. She is a local artist, so I hear, right? Lynn. So.
Let's give it up for Lynn.
There's so much talent in this room.
Well, starting there, going that way. I have a question. How great is it now to see you on KUSI and Fox?
Just like old times.
But still.
Just like old times.
It's like this whole partnership has turned into double of the good stuff. I think it's fantastic.
I think it's awesome, especially because when I'm out doing stories, right, there's so many people who are, hey, Elizabeth, and they associate me with KUSI because I was there for so long. Right. And now it's awesome. They're like, wait, we saw you again. So the transition and the merger obviously takes some time to get used to, I think.
The power of two stations now.
But exactly. I mean, now it's like we have our friends, our viewers from home on Channel 5 and now KUSI, and it's like We're like this huge family now.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty awesome.
Have you ever gone out when it's just foggy and say, storm watch? Do you have a slicker in the thing?
I feel like I've been
I
doing
know
that
you have.
every other day since the beginning of the year. No joke.
It's interesting in San Diego how we have a storm watch every time. Like,
Sprinkle watch. Sprinkle watch.
A watch, a fog watch.
like you guys are looking forward to it.
watch,
Oh my God, it's foggy.
The Big Sur.
And I have to give it to you because folks like you and Misha DeBono, I always remember going into the fire. I mean, for me, I'm immediately down at the beach. I'm running away from the fire. You guys are, what is it like driving towards some, well, here I go. I'm going into the place
I think it's just part of the job, right? Like you get whatever assignment you get, and whether it's some developing weather event or
I'm not doing
where
that.
there may be some, something going on that you're really not sure. As long as you're safe about it and you.
But you're not safe. We can see you there, and the flames are right there.
No, we're not that close.
Tommy, if Tommy was my boss, he said go to the fire, I'd say, can I do the yogurt shop interview instead?
But I do
that too, though.
I do often wonder when you're out there because you must get your assignment early in the morning,
Yeah.
and then you're there. But when you're standing there with your microphone on television, it sounds like you've known that story for about 2-3 years. How do you do that without really doing what I do, which is this? Like
That's called a work ethic.
Like how do you do that?
Well, because more than likely you have already reported on something similar, so you kind of already know. And plus, a good reporter will know and do a little bit of research on what am I walking into, what's going on. You'll just read up on whatever weather pattern is happening or whatever scene you're going to. It really is experience.
But it's specifically fire. You're talking to Borchis, you're talking to the fire guys. But man, seriously, I don't think I'd quit that day. I'm getting a
But
job.
Sully, we're not actually going into the fire.
Well,
we're going
I've
to
seen you
where-
at the fire.
Yeah, but we're going to where there are, for example, your public information officers, where there's usually always some sort of a media staging area where that's where you're supposed to be.
I think you're very brave.
Speaking of weather, let's bring out our next guest.
Wow, nice. That was good.
He's a legend. He's an icon. He lives right across the street from me. Ladies and gentlemen, San Diego's very own Dave Scott.
Good get. I feel like
Love you. Love you, love
I
you, love
feel
you.
like I see you more now, because when you play at Nick and G's,
Right.
And now I hire him for parties, and just sometimes he's in the driveway when I get home. But you and Bobby are fantastic. You sound like an 8-piece band.
Yeah, that's because of the magic of Bobby Lanuza. He was the former band director for the San Diego Chargers, and he opened for like
Everybody.
Mel Torme, everybody, yeah. Kenny
Did you just
Rogers.
drop Mel Torme?
He did. He opened for
But you couldn't come up with Mel Knapp or Jonathan Dunrankin?
But thank you very much for doing this show. I mean, you're everything. I mean, you're an icon. I mean, there's you and Bobby right now, right there on the screen.
Wow.
But you are an icon. When people see you in the streets, they relate you to KUSI, but they fall over for you.
You're famous, man.
Even coworkers, even former coworkers. I'm like, when I found out you were coming on the show, I was like, my gosh, Dave Scott's going to be there.
But Dave's also a safe place. If you know Dave on TV, you know Dave in person. It's like if you ever want to get a hug or feel better about, hey, Dave, I got an IRS audit tomorrow, and you'll feel better by tomorrow because Dave's
And if I'm not mistaken, before you were at KUSI, I think I know the answer. What were you doing before KUSI?
Before KUSI, I was in Tucson. Then I was in Yuma doing the weather. That was my first full-time job, Monday through Friday. And before that, I was interning at Channel 8, Channel 10.
Really?
You name it, some of the radio stations.
I thought you were a bartender or something like that.
And yes, the first
I
time
know him
met
from
you-
somewhere.
Well, that's because in the old days,
Yeah.
when I was just a kid, I was helping some bartenders at the Princess of Wales, which was
Yeah.
down in
Princess
Little
of
Italy.
Wales?
Yeah,
What,
remember
the
that
Moonglow
pub?
wasn't hiring?
That's
the
right.
Princess of Wales.
We're going
Yes.
back, and that's where I met Jeff and Jared for
Yeah.
the first time. And they were so
We always
cool.
used to go there to throw darts.
At 4 in the morning before the show.
Yeah, now Jerry just he just texted me. And
He asked me for your
"Dave,"
number.
Yeah, it was amazing. He said, "Dave, please send me your Christmas song. It's, he loves it, and he and his wife play it." And so I'm grateful for that.
Real quick, do you know what one of the best things is about you? Is that you quit at the top of your game to chase your dream. And that is music.
Because Sully, I was running out of time.
I mean, Dave's like, I got 20 good summers left and 5 bad ones. I got to get this music out there.
You start to get older and you realize, wait a minute, and then the older you get, more people that you know and your good friends and your parents, my brother, pass away, and you start to look at time differently. And you say, you know what, I've done this. And then when I got to 30 years at KUSI, I said, that's a nice round figure. I think I got to do this because I only have so much time. And that's what I did. That was my dream when I was a little kid. Mm-hmm. In 1969, I was 12 years old. I wanted so badly to buy a trombone. And my dad said, well, if you save up, if you get a job, and you save up $200, I'll kick in the extra 100. So I got a paper.
$200 in 1969?
Yeah.
Dillard, does that wash out? Does that sound about right? Steve Dillard, by the way.
Well, he made that's because,
Righteous Brothers,
yeah.
Leonard Skinner, and the Horn Trader in San Diego. Give him a hand. Does that $200 in 1969? I mean,
Steve Dillard practically makes his own trumpets. The guy is a genius, and he's a great player. So is Trip Spake, everybody
I'm
up
so
on that
surprised at
stage.
that. Because 1969, a loaf of bread cost you a chicken.
Yeah.
That's how long it was. I can't believe $200 seems like you could have got a piano back then. That's interesting.
Yeah, really. And I bought my trombone in Hawaii because I grew up there, and I had a scholarship with the symphony for lessons. And then I saved up the money. I got my trombone from Trummy Young, and he was
a lot of alliteration there.
He was the trombonist for Louis Armstrong. So when you watch the movie High Society, he's in there. Wow. And he was such the sweetest guy.
As you grow up and you come to San Diego,
yeah.
you could have been a golf pro. You were really good.
You could have been a hair model also, by the way.
I was trying.
I'm just calling balls and strikes here. And he's got some very nice hands.
But in high school, weren't you like with Phil and everybody, winning?
Yeah, I played against guys like Mark Wiebe, Lenny Clement,
Ernie Shavers.
He and I were in the.
And Trummy with the trombone.
Yeah, so I feel very blessed, but it's all just being a part of San Diego, which you guys are, and you're making San Diego even more on the map than it ever has been.
It's all done. It's all
God bless you guys. All right, let's bring out the next guest. Originally from the San Fernando Valley, this man does it all. From Fox 5 San Diego Sports, Julian Del Gaudio. Julian.
Hey,
I immediately feel worse about myself. You are one handsome.
Well, I'm embarrassed. I thought I'd have the best hair here, but Dave showed up and.
No, listen.
You win.
Yeah, you're on the back of Parade Magazine. He's on the front of GQ. Come on.
All right, so I read up a lot about you. So you grew up, you're an LA dude, San Fernando Valley.
Born and raised.
Pacoima.
Yes.
Tell us about your mom and dad and the market. The market you have.
We no longer have it, which is the heartbreaking part of the whole story. But so my grandma and grandpa met. My grandpa immigrated from Italy. My grandma lived in Philadelphia, and then they moved to Los Angeles. And they could have bought in Burbank, but they decided to settle in Pacoima. So that's a big regret, I guess, to say the least. But I love the area and everything else. But they opened this mom and pop store. They started selling oranges. My grandma had an orange tree, and the money she made, she just kept snowballing that into a bunch of other products. And then
like orange juice, for example?
Yeah, orange juice was a big one, and everything of that nature. And then we had sandwiches, beer. That was my first job. I was working since I was far back as I can remember doing that. And then COVID hit, and they ended up selling the store, calling it quits and everything else. But they were honored by the city of Los Angeles as a historical market, and everything else. Was also considered one of the luckiest stores in the valley.
What was the name of the market?
Del Gaudio's Market.
Del Gaudio's Market.
So it was really cool to kind of have that. And
so if it's been there for decades, I tell you right now for sure, Richie Valens went into that place because he grew up right there.
Yeah, he did.
Potentially, you know, we definitely had Danny Trejo in there. The movie Bubble Boy, I don't know if you guys remember that one. Kind of flopped in theaters, but that was filmed there, so early Gyllenhaal movie. And
How did you take the jump to sports?
I always loved sports, and I grew up watching local news in Los Angeles, wanting to be like Jim Hill and Rob Fukuzaki, you know, Fred Rogan, kind of those guys, thinking that they had the best job in the world. And I had no idea how to do anything like that. And I luckily fell into it, went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, got an internship.
Where?
KSBY in SLO, and then I wasn't getting paid, and basically their sports guy on the weekends let me come in. I would stack his show, write his copy, and everything else for about a year. And then kind of snowballed that into a photog job in Reno as a sports photog, and then the rest is kind of
And you
history.
climbed and climbed and climbed.
Yeah, you know, really cut my teeth early on, and now, shoot, 9 years later, it's been really awesome.
Did you say Reno?
Yeah,
You know, their taglines, more bars and more places.
Yeah, too many bars and too many places.
Biggest little city, right?
Yeah, it was really a fun place to
How'd you get to Fox 5 San Diego?
Well, you know, COVID hit, and I finally had a lot more free time on my hands because I was kind of doing it all. I was shooting games, anchoring.
Reno?
Yeah, in Reno. We did a coach's show from September through March, so we'd follow the team. You know, I was living out of a suitcase for a lot of it. And then COVID hit, made a resume, an opening happened, and Chris Murphy, I don't know if that name rings a bell, came from Fox to my station in Reno. He connected me with our news director, Rich. And,
He did mornings.
He did. He was a morning anchor for a little while, and the rest was history.
So wait, so you would just put an application in? You got her? Was friction
well,
free?
you know, I had a phone call too, probably at some point that.
You know, the rest of us were picking up trash and working in the promotions department. You know,
Well,
Wait, I heard a story though that our news director thought you looked like a celebrity too. That helped.
yeah,
also, right?
I get
Justin
that a lot.
Timberlake.
Yeah, no, not Justin, not Justin. I get Mark Consuelos a lot, the Kelly Ripa's husband. But
well, I'll tell you what, you are fantastic on the air. I'm a big fan, and you've had zero friction in your life, and everything's come easy. So great.
You're like, thanks, Sully.
I don't know. You got to visit Pacoima at some point.
Yeah. Having said that, you did have to spend some time in Pacoima.
Yeah. It's fun though. I appreciate it.
Can we bring our next guest in after this break?
Absolutely. And we all learned something. SLO is San Luis Obispo.
Yes, we did.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a slow gin fizz or something.
That is such a
On the air, it's on the air. Look at this audience here. He could walk
Yeah,
up there.
Jose Escobar on congas with the Sully Band. Give it up for our live studio audience as well. Yeah.
Dave could walk right up there right now.
Oh, yeah. He is going to
Dave,
walk
could
up
you
there.
walk right up there and play with the horn section right now? No, I'm not telling you to. I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying, could you? If you like, are you? I don't want to say talented, adept,
Yes, he is.
but skilled enough to walk up there and say, "Hey, man, Papa's got a brand new bag in D, babe," and suddenly you're playing.
I might trip over the first part of the stage, but
Dave Scott knows those cats.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. Also, just for the record, how many times have they asked you to be in this band over the last 10 years?
boy, if I look at the list of texts from Little Tommy,
I've been down. I've been turned down by you more than. I'll just leave it there. Fill in,
Well, true story.
fill in the blank.
True
He's a
story.
busy guy.
True story. When I called him to be on the show, he goes, "Well, Little Tommy, since I've said no to you so many times, I guess I'm going to have to say yes." But I have a question, a sports question. Are you a Steelers fan?
I'm not.
Okay, good. But do you know the name? Do you know the name Franco Harris?
Yeah, of course. Hall of Famer.
Immaculate
Passed away. Yeah, of course.
You know what? You know what's so cool? That young man right there, Dave Scott, knew Franco.
No kidding.
Knew Franco very well.
he was my
Because-
brother-in-law.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, no
He
kidding.
was my brother-in-law, and it was
That
very,
team.
very sad that he passed away last year. It was just over a year ago.
But that team at that time.
That team was the best.
Terry Bradshaw,
Best.
Lynn Swan, John Fuqua, Mean Joe Green. Who's the real mean linebacker? Lambert?
Yeah.
You know,
Rocky Blyer.
Here's the amazing thing.
Okay, that's a great pull. That's a great pull, by the way.
In '92, they had I was working, 92, about 93, somewhere in there. I can't remember now, but was working with Junior Seau to help his foundation. He had a tournament, and he had Franco and Mean Joe Green in there, and so I grabbed Mean Joe and I said, "Can we recreate that?"
The Coca-Cola commercial?
The Coca-Cola commercial. So and he was giant. So he handed me this Coke can. There you go, kid. You know.
He said, "Thanks, Mean Joe."
Thanks, Mean Joe.
And then he launched the jersey
Yeah.
at you.
And the biggest controversy is, did he catch that ball? Did you ever have
Yes.
a
For me, Franco?
dinner? Yeah.
Yes.
Did you
Yeah,
ever
what's
have
the
a
difference?
dinner with him and say, "Hey,
Yes.
Franco, did you really catch it?"
No,
Because
he's been
the
asked-
camera shot cuts it off.
He's been asked a million times.
And what does he say to you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's plausible deniability. I'd say absolutely every time. And wouldn't you? Yeah, I caught that ball. Did you see me?
If he hadn't, he wouldn't have kept running.
Yeah.
You know, he was the most humble,
was gonna say.
nicest, sweetest person in the whole wide world.
Like I was thinking the other day when the Steelers on TV, the other night, I said, I don't remember what Franco Harris sounded like. I mean, he avoided the spotlight, you know?
He did. He did. He avoided it. He actually, do you know what he did after the NFL? He started up a company called Super Bakery, and he was creating, because he felt like there was a need, that everybody loved donuts and that kind of thing, but he wanted to make them in a very healthy way, a nutritious way. So he came up with the ingredients. He had his degree in this, like food management and everything. And
Healthy donuts?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
he did.
still listening.
So, and he sold it to all the military, the prison system, everything, and he built this incredible, wonderful company, and it helps others, and he helped with that to rebuild parts of Pittsburgh because he always gave back to the community. So
I said I know how to make diet scotch and diet gin and tonic, extra ice cube. How do you make a diet donut?
you know,
No sugar.
Okay,
Sweet, no, I don't know.
you don't have to answer that.
you know, you only eat half of it.
Well, someone might know it.
That's a good
Well,
one.
let's bring out our next guest. He may know that answer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to eat. From Valley Farm Markets in Spring Valley and La Jolla, Derek Marso.
Is that the thing, the hee-haw? Is that the thing, the I am bigger.
Derek. So, first question, how do you make healthy donuts? No, just kidding.
You don't. You don't worry about it. You just eat them.
But thank you very much for being here. We want to highlight businesses in San Diego. And when Sully said, "Hey, let's bring someone on," I immediately thought of you.
I said, let's bring somebody who can sell some steaks.
There you go.
I have a question for you. Are you the same market that's in La Jolla?
I am.
Are you the same one that's building one in Del Mar?
I am. Yeah.
Let's talk about COVID.
Okay.
Because how are you still alive? I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, your business in particular and the restaurant business got. I mean, I'll try
Got beat
to,
up.
Well, I'll try to be fair about it and say government didn't know what they didn't know. However, having you start and stop, it's food. It's not like you can store it for 8 months. I mean, what was it like?
It was rough. I mean, you know, the ebb and flows of it were hard to deal with, but we've been blessed and fortunate enough that we could pivot and kind of figure it out. I got a great staff. I got a great team. I own grocery stores, restaurants, and fishing companies, and so I was able to kind of have people move around and do stuff. But man, it was difficult, especially with the supply chain. The supply chain was probably the most difficult to us being a really small store. They didn't really care about us, right? They were trying to give it to the big stores.
Are you back to normal now, would you say? I mean, is it as normal as can be, or is it post-COVID going to be different and that's just going to be it?
Yeah, I think it made us pivot into changing our style of store, right? We had to become more of a specialty store because the bigger distributors wanted to give it to the Costcos, the Targets, and all those places. So we don't really have a ton of commodity products, but we really focus on specialty products.
I love the specialty stuff when you're in line and they got the $80 chocolate
Right.
right there.
Yeah.
Because
$79.99.
what do they call that stuff in the end caps when you're getting ready to leave and they catch your attention, you buy it anyway? Because there's like Doritos at Vaughn's, and you guys have the cool European stuff. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
If you haven't been there, it's a fantastic experience. It's one of those markets that looks like, remember Upstart Crow bookstore down in Seaport Village?
Yeah.
It didn't look like a Barnes & Noble. It looked like a destination village, small town. It's fantastic. You guys done a great job.
Well, thanks. And that's actually what we try to do. We try to focus on the experience, right? We try to be more than just a grocery store. We want you to come in. We want to know your name. We want to give you an experience, give you tastings, let you try products so you feel like you're part of the community.
So can I just go there and pick stuff up now and just, start tasting?
You can, absolutely.
And another thing that you started doing, social media.
Yeah.
You have a big podcast and a large following.
Yeah, we did. We did podcasts for a long time. We were actually voted the #1 barbecue podcast in the world years ago. We stopped doing that.
Come on, give him a hand. First of all, for having a barbecue podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
How cool is that?
my next life I want to be you. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so we actually stopped doing that. Sean continued doing his podcast, and we just really focus on social media and trying to do what we can to connect with our consumer.
I think the on air goes live at the next.
Yeah. And speaking of sports, after the break, weren't you a college athlete? We'll talk about that later.
Marso. Man, I want to go hang out with you during that. Okay, much more to come. We'll see you in a minute.
Do you want to experience On the Air with Sully and Little Tommy live and in person right here at Loft 100 Studios? If so, email us at audience@loft100studios.com.
Jose Escobar, Congas.
Like, just off the top of your head, two coolest people, Lenny Kravitz and the cat playing congos there, man. I mean, look at
Yes.
him. You are you're smooth as a gravy sandwich. Like, you are cool, man. He just sits there straight face and he's like, is he like that at home? Or is he like a little needy?
How should I answer
Is he a little lippy? Got a mouth he likes to run it?
Both. I mean, he's got that Latin attitude sometimes, but.
Well, God, what does that have to be like with you and him? With just saying.
Yeah, it's
Because
not
I know
quiet.
you. I know
It's
you when
definitely
you
not
get
quiet
impatient.
in the house.
I know you when you get impatient.
She grabs her shades and puts them on.
Speaking of Latin attitude, and you guys, it's fun to watch your videos of your kids playing sports because you're in the background of the video going, hit the ball, hit the ball.
Yeah, we're loud. We're loud.
You're talking to your father when you get home. You guys are very supportive. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we missed you like for 4 months there until this thing got through. So we're glad we're in the same building.
Elizabeth Alvarez.
I want to shout out. So our beautiful studio. I don't know if anybody here went to the other studio, and it was gorgeous and fantastic. But one of the reasons this studio exists is because of my banker, Robert Cafaro at Banner Bank here in San Diego. Give him a hand. And
Good to have those friends.
is there anything more stressful in this order? Mortgage loan audit, right? Barbara Cafaro is my savior, and she is a mortgage loan specialist. Yeah. And the reason I do a shout out is because she brought most of the audience today. So thank you guys for coming.
Awesome.
Can I just ask one more question? Because I know I'm hogging this segment. Wow. Okay. Did you sigh? Who wants to hear Tommy do a song?
Come on.
I've always wanted to play with the Sully Band, and I've never really
been prepped.
Always,
You're not
ready to do it, but
The shades.
but I'll do it.
He's putting the shades on.
And then he's gonna say 3 words.
What?
Everybody stand up.
Yeah, get on your feet. Drown me out. Yeah, get on your feet, guys. Get on your feet. Hey, do it.
I was cutting the rug down at a place called The Jug with a girl named Linda Lou. When in walked a man with a gun in his hand, and he was looking for you know who. He said, hey there, fella, with your hair colored yellow, what you trying to prove? Won't you give me 3 steps? Give me 3 steps, mister. Give me 3 steps towards the door. Give me 3 steps, give me 3 steps, mister, and you never see me no more. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Jordan on guitar.
That's Little Tommy and the Sully Band. Wow! I did mention that
Please.
Autograph.
Sit down, please.
I did mention
Multi-talented.
The balcony, please.
Wait a second. Let me read you a text here that I got on Saturday. This is good because this same person that texted me during COVID said, "Hey, can you pick me up 2 things of paper towels and a thing of Raid and 4 cases of $2 Chuck?" That would be my mother. $2 Chuck is wine, and she texted me on Saturday and said, "I don't think I've heard Tommy sound better." That she's listen. I'm not kidding. You're getting better. I mean, you could do this. Can we get you on stage next time?
It's just a fun little thing that you guys let me play with the Sully Band for 70 seconds, which is cool. I mean, seriously, every single one of those people right there, from Brian, from everyone, Mark, Trace, James, Jose, Steve, Trip, Tomoka, and April.
Are you saying like oh little old me?
I knew all their names. I think those guys are the best ever. Best. Seriously.
But
better than the Beatles, better than the Rolling Stones.
But back to your improving skills. So
You know what's amazing is, and you did it from just standing there. You didn't even have to go to the bandstand.
I know.
Technology.
And those weren't the lyrics. Those weren't the lyrics. Those were the guests for next week. He was producing.
Yeah. Speaking of music, can I tell a cool story about Dave Scott?
I got 3 more questions. No, go ahead.
Here's a cool story, and I mean this. This is a cool story about Dave Scott and the musician he plays with, which is, who is he? Bobby
Lanuza.
Bobby Lanuza. When he was
talented.
He was with the Chargers, as the musician that goes out, and Dick Lewis used to be with him, and all the time they would go out and speak to, senior rehab centers. And my mom, before she died, wasn't talking. And so I went to go see her, and Bobby and Dick Lewis were playing piano, and Dick sang. And they were doing songs from the 1940s when my mom was a teenager. And I witnessed a miracle because my mom stood up, clapped, and sang.
Come here, let me give you a hug.
Nah, but I mean it. But I mean it. It was like music. Music is powerful. Music is bigger than medicine, better than medicine. And to see my mom, who wasn't talking, I saw her before she died. Her soul was like a 16-year-old girl. Like she sang, and I'll never forget it.
Do you remember the song?
There were lots of Sinatra. There was a lot of songs from the 40s, and it was just back to back where she stood up and sang. So every time I see Dave Scott and Bobby, I always say, "Hey, Bobby, remember that miracle?" And he gives me a hug. And Dick Lewis, who just recently passed away from the Chargers, every time I mention that, he always gave me a hug. So, here's the music. I mean, seriously. And so thank you. And I think after the break, we are going to be blessed to hear that young man, Dave Scott, get up there with the Sully Band and sing.
What, are you playing your own song? You can play your song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original?
Yeah.
Come on, give me a
Up next, after the break.
On the air is on the air. Good to have you guys along today. We'll see you in a second. Hey, look, Tommy, there's Marso. There's Dave Scott. There's Julian Del Gaudio. And there is, what's your name again? Elizabeth Alvarez and her contemplating husband. on today.
You know what?
Yeah, James.
Let's get Dave Scott. Who wants to hear Dave Scott sing a song?
I say, no, ask the gatekeeper. You know, James East, 3 Grammys, 4 Tonys, and a restraining order. Is he allowed? An expired Costco card. Is Dave allowed up there with you guys? Absolutely. He's music royalty. Give him a hand. Dave Scott.
Go Dave, go Dave.
Hey, Dave, as you get set up, where do you play during the week?
Well, I'm at Nick and G's in Rancho Santa Fe every Tuesday and Thursday.
And he packs the place in
With
the
Bobby
middle of
Lanuza.
sleepy little Rancho Santa Fe downtown.
And
It's
then,
amazing.
Every other Wednesday at Hacienda in El Cajon, Hacienda Casablanca. Tony and Cindy Gomez.
Yeah.
They run the show. They're so nice.
I gotta have him come play.
The food's so great.
I wanted to play in front of the meat section.
Nikki
And then
G.
we're at Bellamy's in Escondido every Friday night.
Yeah.
And you're living
then
you're living your dream, right?
Yeah.
This is because he's cool.
Oh,
he's like Lenny
Trust
Kravitz
me,
cool.
watch this when he gets rolling. And the crowd, this is audience participation, by the way.
This is an original tune, as I wrote for my kids, because growing up they only wanted to eat one thing:
Oh, I know this song.
mac and
Cheese.
cheese.
This is a fantastic song.
So that's the only lyrics you have to know, and you'll know when to sing them automatically because it's that kind of tune. So I guess we're gonna kick it off and see what happens.
Kick it off, cool cat.
Yeah. He's so cool.
Oh, James, bring it.
Woo!
You may love filet mignon or maybe chicken parmesan, but I'm needing only one thing, please. Baby, give me mac and cheese. You may drool for pasta fazool, and your ceviche may be cool, but I'll pass them all by with ease. Baby, give me mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. And if you wanna take me on a date, mac and cheese. I just gotta see it on my plate. And you may like your pork chops fried, mashed potatoes on the side, but you can keep all those recipes. Baby, give me mac and cheese. Here we go now. Filet mignon, or maybe chicken parmesan, but I'm needing only one thing, please. Baby, give me mac and cheese. And you may drool for pasta fazool, and your ceviche may be cool, but I'll pass them all by with ease. Baby, give me mac and cheese. Here we go now. Mac and cheese. Potatoes on the side. You can keep all those recipes. Baby, give me mac and cheese. Baby, give me mac and cheese. One more time. Baby, I said, baby, give me mac and cheese. Baby, give me mac and cheese. Baby, give me mac and cheese. Baby, give me mac and cheese.
ageless.
Dave Scott.
Come on. Amazing. That's
So
like,
good.
That's
So
like an
good.
ageless, like you're like Alan Sherman of our time. You know, I mean, that would be a song that is going to be around for a long time. I love it. Fantastic.
I hope so. That's the
Great.
whole deal. You know, I was just telling Liz a little while ago that those songs, like I did thousands, probably 4,000 to 5,000 World of Wonders, and these are my new World of Wonders.
Wait a second. There's got to be unseen World of Wonders out there in your vaults.
There are.
Come on! I want to see a whole show called World of Wonder.
I think it may be coming. But hey,
wait. So say how many exactly?
That have never been seen? Well, there's 2 I know of, but
How long did it take
I've
you to
forgotten
do a
them.
World of Wonder? Top to bottom.
all right, some would take a single day. Some would take
Extra shoots.
a month. Just from all the work, you have to go back, shoot, get the people on the, then log everything, and I would log everything, every detail.
old school.
Old school.
Yeah. Piece of paper.
Yeah, I remember sitting with Mike Castellucci. We had yellow pads, and
Yeah.
when we started, we just write everything by hand, and we had typewriters.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about that is that, do you remember when they came on?
Yeah.
You would stop what you were doing. I mean, everybody would stop what they were doing.
We still play them.
So listen, you know how you watch golf on Sundays and Jim Nance makes you feel nice and cozy? When you narrated that, it's like I just wanted to give you a hug because you made everything okay. It was a fantastic, iconic San Diego thing, and I'd love it. I'd love it if you did it again.
Well, there's
And
discussion.
viewers still miss the World of
Hold on.
Wonders too.
There's
still miss
dis-
those stories.
There's recent discussions. I know Dave knows this, but there's recent discussions on bringing those back.
Well, I'd like to
Can
represent
I just say this? Little Tommy knows things about everything.
that you don't even.
I know that nobody knows.
I don't.
I would like to represent Dave in those discussions going forward.
Agent.
Good stuff.
But that was so good. That song was so good. As a matter of fact, when I was listening to you, I was thinking to myself, we got to edit out my song.
No, that's not right.
It was great. Little Tommy Lee.
Give them a hand for both of them. Come on. We should edit out my song.
All right. Coming up after the break, more from Julian Del Gaudio, Elizabeth Alvarez, Dave Scott, Derek Marso, and Jose Escobar.
On the air, on the air. We'll see you in a minute. That's the Sully Band up there. Give me a hand. On the air, it's on the air. Thank you guys so much for watching. And thank this live studio audience, Tommy. Great job, man. We should probably say how you can become an audience member.
Yes,
Do you know?
I do. You got to email Mary, audience@loft100studios.com. Audience@loft100studios.com. Email that woman back there, Mary, and we will get you in to see the show.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorite shows. As a matter of fact, this live audience, give it up once again for the live audience. But I want to give a shout out because I've known this guy maybe 3 or 4 decades, but I just noticed Terry Getz in the studio. Terry Getz, I don't know how he got here. Terry, I've known this guy since the beginning of Jeff and Jer.
I want to give a shout out to the city of Chula Vista for everyone in your childhood still alive. Because every week, it's my old girlfriend, everybody. No, honestly, it's great to see that everybody's still following you.
Chula Vista and the Castle Park area is a wonderful place. We all stick together. We're still all family, and
My parents both went to Chula Vista High School.
good.
Grew up in Chula Vista.
Yes.
I was born at Chula Vista Hospital.
Got it.
I am the mayor of Chula. No, it's okay. I love Chula Vista. And isn't it interesting how when Chula Vista in the 50s was this place to go, and now there's a regentrification going on down there. And it started many years ago with Eastlake.
Yeah.
But man, it's looking good now.
But
Give it up for LaBella's Pizza in Chula Vista. Come on.
But as you head out of Chula Vista and get into like Spring Valley, you end up right there to Valley Market.
Yeah.
Tell us about the food right here.
No, I just wanted to bring something. We're known for our carne asada and pollo asada. So we've been in business since 1956. My grandpa started it. My dad had it. I'm the third generation. And our carne asada and pollo asada has been voted #1 in San Diego for a long time. So we bring it in.
And tell us about the shack. What's the shack all about?
Yeah, so I did barbecue for a long time, barbecue competitions around the United States, went out and did it. And then we kind of threw events here in San Diego. And I started a little barbecue shack out front in one of my grocery stores. I took it away and put everything inside. And the community spoke and said they want it back outside. So we opened it back up after 2 years, and we just started 2 weeks ago. So it's been going well, doing a lot of brisket, pulled pork, ribs, chicken, smash burgers, everything you can imagine.
Yo, there's nothing like that barbecue going on outside when you pull up to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, remember the hot dog guy at Home Depot that fries up the onions and he sells no onions, but he just gets everybody around.
We call it the smoke signal.
Is that what it's called?
The smoke signal.
Fantastic.
Just waft out the smoke signal and let people come in.
And then Julian Del Gaudio, where can people watch you on Fox 5? What time slot?
Usually nights and weekends, after 6:45 and 10:45. That's the short answer to the whole thing. But I'm all over the map,
Are the Chargers dead to you like they're dead to me?
I was never. I was never a
Do
Chargers
you feel like
fan to begin
Spanos
with,
fled
so
San Diego versus moved?
I'm really sad that they did leave San Diego because the trickle effects of what that seemed, and I've only been here since 2020, and seeing all the impact it's made is really heartbreaking. But, I'm an Angelino, so I'm a Rams fan, and they're definitely not the home team in that stadium.
Cool.
San Diego Stadium. Let me bring it back to a gentler time, Dave. The year was 1969.
Yeah.
And a very chubby Bobby Sullivan, ignoring the jeers of the other people on the Curie Elementary School playground, went to his dad's car and went to San Diego Stadium. $25 million, all taxpayer funded, won architectural awards. The Chargers, the Padres. How about
The Beach Boys, the Sockers.
the Beach Boys' first 5 farewell tours?
Yeah.
What about street scene? What about NCAA championships, Poinsettia Bowl, Major League Baseball, All-Star Game?
Pop Warner Super Q Bowls.
Being able to bring a jug. And that night, what could go wrong? San Diego Stadium. Didn't it make San Diego a little nicer place to live?
Absolutely.
I'm out of here. See you guys later. I'm still ticked.
A lot of people are.
It was a civic asset. The Chargers just happened to be the biggest renter.
Bobby Lanuza was the band director for the San Diego Chargers, and when they left to go to L.A., he didn't go.
Of course, you know why? They're dead to him, too.
He stayed here.
I'm a man without a team. I'm
I think we just passed the anniversary. I think it was January 12th, wasn't it, when they announced that they were leaving of 2017. I remember because we were out there live in front of Chargers Park.
Do you know what you could
And
have
that
done
came
there?
up on Facebook.
Do you know what you could have done there if it was still here? Done a dance competition, because you win those.
We could have.
Are you still dancing?
I haven't in a while. I mean,
Do you know why? Chargers left.
Yeah. I need to get back into it, though. That's
Everything goes back to there.
Bitter party of one, your table's ready.
So you and Jose, what sport is it now for your kids? Is there a sport right
It's
now?
baseball. We're
Baseball?
pretty much a baseball family,
It was
right?
golf. It was golf for a
It
little
was
bit.
golf. I remember when
I'd pay
we were
good
doing
money
the
to see
morning show together. I would always talk to Dave and get advice from him because my son's a lefty, and obviously you're like a pro golfer, and he'd be like, just have him stick with it, and he just transitioned into baseball, but he does play the saxophone. So
right.
he's a
Bring him.
jazz
Yeah,
band.
come on.
I know.
Our guest next
Which is
week.
So awesome.
And Mr. Dave Scott.
Didn't Dave give you golf? What did he say to you about your golf game? Oh yeah, don't golf.
Hey, where are you playing? I know you already mentioned it, but once again, where are you playing?
Right. Tuesday and Thursday, Rancho Santa Fe at Nick and G's.
Yeah.
Wednesday at Hacienda Casablanca in El Cajon. And Friday at Bellamy's in Escondido. Wow. And be playing with the Brad Steinway Big Band.
Wow.
And
Will you be playing Mac and Cheese?
And Irving Flores, who did the amazing arrangements, that guy I work with a lot too, and he's just fantastic. And he's at Census Bistro downtown, the UCSD building. So there's a lot of really good things happening. And
Hey, for the 132nd time, babe, would you come play with us?
yes,
Can I get you to commit to come play with us?
well, I just did.
That's right.
Yeah, I just
Or
did.
show of hands, who believes it? Dave Scott